I don't often get questions that necessarily surprise me anymore when it comes to being a blind person, but this one kind of threw me for a loop, and maybe not for the reasons you think. So what I'm going to do to present this question is show you, first of all, a little bit about how I interface with YouTube when I get comments, and that is by using VoiceOver. And so I'm going to have this question read aloud. So shout out to the commenter who asked, and today we're going to talk about hobbies.
At Muhammad Sidislamabadi, Bullet, 6 days ago, how blind people pass their time because as a blind guy you can't do much things. One like, view or replies.
There is a perception, and I think it often comes from a place of not understanding how I might do something, that people who are blind can't possibly have any hobbies or things that they are interested in. And for me personally, this couldn't be further from the truth. Before we get into it, I do just want to say I am one blind dude. I don't speak for blind people. I know some blind people who are more sedentary and don't like to get out and do things as much. And I know some blind people who are obnoxiously more adventurous than myself. I like to think that I exist somewhere in between the two. If you're looking on my channel for sources of my hobbies, I have examples of all of them. I will try, if I remember, to include some links to some videos in which I partake in these hobbies if I have them available. There's one that's relatively new to me that we definitely don't have a video for up yet, and I'm not sure exactly how to do that, so we'll talk about that when we get there. But item one, I'm going to flip the camera and talk about it because I'm in the room with the first thing, and you will likely have seen that on the channel before. That thing is plants. We are just pointing and clicking very generically at my grow light setup right now. I have two 4-foot tall grow lights, and they are in service of a small collection of tropical plants, including a few species of Dracaena, as well as a ponytail palm, a lemon lime Dracaena, specifically a raven ZZ, and a regular ZZ plant, and a couple of jades that are probably not in frame because they are rather small. But I love taking care of plants, and this subset of plants that I have right now is very tactily friendly, and so I can touch them. When it comes to repotting, I'm not going to damage anything, and there are videos of me updating you on my plant's progress over the last few years. So item one is taking care of plants. Hobby number two is video games. You've seen me play quite a few on this channel, from MLB The Show and Super Mega Baseball to driving and racing games like Test Drive Unlimited or Gran Turismo. I've even dabbled in a little Red Dead Redemption. I'm not particularly good at any video games per my small amount of usable vision. However, I enjoy them anyway and play them regardless. So video games is number two. Hobby number three is something that I don't get to do extraordinarily often, but I enjoy when I get the chance, and that is traveling. I love to see new things, experience new places, and I'm not very adventurous when it comes to food, so sometimes I'm picky in a new place I've never been picky before. However, I do enjoy the chance to get to talk to people from across the country and around the world when possible, and there are videos on this channel of me going to places like Kansas City and St. Louis, as well as New Mexico. Those are just the ones I can think of off the top of my head that I have videos for specifically on the channel, as well as San Diego, California. That was a great trip. So lots of fun. I love traveling, and now we're going to get into my most recent hobby. So when you talk about travel or video games, at least for me, there's kind of a visual component there. I use my usable vision to the degree that I can while partaking in those hobbies, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Plants, I would say I kind of go either way, and the plants that I kind of got with the specific intention that if or when I lose my vision down the road, I will still be able to take care of the plants that I have by touch, and that's kind of how I want to partake in that hobby down the road. This is the first new hobby that I've kind of taken up. Sorry, I'm switching to my non-dominant hand, so we're getting some camera shake going on. We're gonna go back to my other hand, and I will grab the delicate thing with the breakable glass in it, and that thing is my first ever bottle of bourbon, and this is from a local winery called Four Daughters, and we went out there recently and I did a flight of samples of bourbon, and we have a friend of ours that I just enjoy tasting with and chatting with as we do so, and so I decided to take the plunge and get my first bottle. This is just a classic bourbon. I'm not sure if the label is in frame or not, but I really liked that and one other flavor, and I decided as someone who doesn't really know what I'm doing, I would start with a classic, and I enjoy tasting, and this is the first bottle I've ever bought. I only uncorked it enough to make sure that I knew how to figure it out, so I'm gonna have a drink of that after this video, actually, because it's been a very long week and I just want to kind of kick back and relax for a while. And I really like the fact that this hobby does not only does it not require vision, but vision is not really part of the process unless you really want it to be. Some people really enjoy the way that a bourbon looks, and that maybe plays some important role to them. That doesn't really bother me. I'm, more concerned with the smell and the taste, and those are just as accessible to me as anything else. So, but I hope this kind of gives you an extended look at some things that I might like to do. And if you have any hobby suggestions for me based on what I've presented here, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I hope this was informative. If you have any questions or comments, queries, theories, concerns, or anything else, please don't hesitate to let me know. With all of that said, we'll see you soon. Peace.